AviationPros.com is the portal website for AMT, Airport Business, and Ground Support Worldwide magazines. Visit daily for breaking news, industry blogs, and insightful articles from our magazine's editorial team. And don't forget to sign up for our publication's daily e-newsletters. It's all at AviationPros.com. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Aviation Pros podcast and part 2 of our series, Gearing Up for the Competition. I'm Walker Jaroch, editor of AMT, and in this episode, I'm joined by Bill Willetts, Vice President, Direct Sales for North America for Snap-on Industrial. Bill takes us through Snap-on's role in the competition, how the event is benefiting the technicians of tomorrow, and what Snap-on is doing to promote the industry as a career path through its outreach programs. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Well, Bill, thank you again for taking the time to chat today. First question I got for you, could you give us an overview of the 2024 competition and what makes it a significant event for the aviation maintenance professionals there?
Sure, Walker. Thanks for having me. Yeah, the competition this year is it's huge. In fact, we maxed out quicker than we ever have. So everyone's in for a treat. We've got 84 registered teams already. We have 11 teams on the waiting list. And 25 of those teams are from colleges. And yeah, the excitement these guys bring and the ladies bring with them makes the whole place kind of feel electric. You can feel the excitement everywhere. You can see the excitement on their faces. They have such a passion for the industry. And the rivalry between these two teams between all these teams is pretty exciting because some of them come back year after year. But you're going to see teams from the military. Of course, the major airlines will send teams, colleges will send teams. But not only from the U.S., but outside the country as well. So we have AMTs competing from Norway, Sweden, Canada, Puerto Rico, Ethiopia, Portugal, France, Norway, Australia, all over the country. So it's gotten big. It's got a big footprint, and people recognize it. The military category is back. They have international competition with the Royal Canadian Air Force. So they're returning once again, which is exciting. And one of the things I love from last year's competition in 2023 was seeing all the females compete. And this year we have 4 all-female teams, which is very exciting. So it's great to see the diversity, and I believe it's a big asset to the industry. And this year's competition is going to be fierce. So we're looking forward to seeing what they do.
Excellent. Yeah, looking forward to it myself as well. And as a vice president of Snap-on, how do you see your company's role in and contributing to the competition?
Well, that's a great question. At Snap-on, our main focus, what drives us, is supporting critical industries, which aviation is, and upskilling the workforce. So for us, the competition embodies both of these. Aviation maintenance is so critical in many ways. Not only are the tasks critical, but the consequences of failure are very high. So it's also critical to our national security. If you think about the scope of aviation, from warfighters to moving freight around, creating commerce, even uniting families from all over the globe, it's vital. It's vital to our country. And then you have the education component. So we've been involved in education since the 60s. And for many years now, we've been the harbinger for exposing the growing gap in skilled workforce, and not only in aviation, but in manufacturing and transportation and many other skilled trades. So it seems like the country's finally kind of realizing how big this gap is. And actually for aviation, it's even more magnified because of the skills needed to maintain and build aircraft, is unlike many of the other trades. So it's very important. So those are the reasons that we love being a sponsor of the AMC, the council, and the competition. And we believe it's a worthy endeavor to participate in. And like I said, our company takes great pride in supporting the critical and having a big part in upskilling America.
And that's a great segue into my next question. What do you think, or what do you believe is the competition role in the kind of overall aviation maintenance industry, particularly when it comes to skill development and industry standards?
Well, I think that the aviation industry needs the AMC, both the council and the competition, now more than ever. These students get scholarships presented to them. This is a huge help for the students and a great way for people to support the competition. The scholarship donations are all welcome, no matter if they're big or small. they're all tax deductible, which makes donations easy. But the other thing is companies have, the companies that participate have the opportunity to walk and talk, interview the students and the career runway path at the competition. And, these students are some of the brightest students, and they're all looking for jobs once they become certified. And some students are actually hired on the spot because these companies have the ability to observe their potential. They get to see them working in a controlled, stressful environment as they perform their tasks for the event. So it's a great place to do that. And so that's a win-win for the industry, and it helps companies find quality AMTs, but also helps AMTs have choices on where they want to work after graduation. So it's great for both sides. But in addition to that, the students there's also incumbent technicians from AMTs from all over as well. So it's going to be a big event, and it's great for the industry, not only for the competitors, but for the people hiring, for the manufacturers. As part of the MRO Americas show, it just gives them huge exposure. So I think it's critical for the industry.
And given your experience in the industry and your role at Snap-on, what advice would you give to the young professionals participating at this year's event?
Well, that's a great question. I would say to take time to network with the other competitors and the companies that are hiring. The aviation community is a pretty tight-knit community, and although it's really big, it feels more like a small family. So networking is important because chances are you're going to run into these same people that are there out in the workplace as well. And so it's a great time to meet your peers, but also people you may work with from other companies as well. And where else can you be seen by every major aviation company in the world at one time? So it's kind of a lifetime chance to not only see, but be seen. So I would say take advantage of that and celebrate the skills you've honed. And I would also say to always be professional, not only during the competition, but outside the competition as well.
And from your perspective, how do you think the competition influences the skills needed for these future technicians?
Well, if you look at the big picture, what's happening in our country, it's my belief, as well as many others, that we've got to change the culture, not only in our country, but in our education system. So right now we're reaping decades of promoting almost exclusively 4-year degrees to universities that students can't afford. They graduate with degrees in jobs they can't find. So it's a serious problem for our country, and I think people are just kind of waking up to it now. But the shortage is facing every skilled trade in America, not just aviation, but I think aviation is more magnified just because of the skill sets needed to do these jobs and do them at a high level. Another issue we've come to realize is that if you wait to promote this industry just to students in high school, it's too late, because studies are showing that by the time kids reach adolescents, they've already kind of formed an image of a career path in their mind, just simply based on what they're exposed to at home and in school. And so if you look around, the skilled trade exposure is simply not in the mainstream education system in a meaningful way. So as an industry and as the Council on the Competition, we've got to focus on exposing children to the what ifs of life and showing them that there's more exciting careers out there than just sitting behind a desk. And this is certainly one way to do that. We've created a program that exposes kids to STEM programs starting in kindergarten all the way through the 12th grade, going to the elementary school and middle school. And we started this program with FlightWorks Alabama, which is also associated with Airbus, a couple of years ago. And so we're delivering with them a comprehensive turnkey STEM program to students from kindergarten to 12th grade. So we're really excited about that. And it not only promotes aviation, but it promotes all skilled trades in general, just exposing children to the different types of careers that are out there that, use your hands and your brains. So we've launched these programs in about now several hundred schools in the country already, as well as in the UK. And it's pretty exciting. So the programs like these and competitions like the AMC competition, these can alter the courses of lives in our country in just a few short years. But we need others to join with us and promote these types of programs. It's really the only way that we can change the thinking in our country and show that there's exciting careers out there, careers that are important and have dignity, careers that provide good incomes and support families and ultimately support our country. So, the competition also exposes many people to the industry as well, not only parents, but teachers and future students. So we look to it as something that's very critical for us.
Bill, this has been a great conversation so far. I just got one last question for you. What does Snap-on see for the future of the competition?
Well, as a sponsor and a member of the council and the competition, we're going to continue to work with them as we have on the vision for both of them as a whole. We believe in the council and the competition, and we believe in the impact it has on these competitors and also on the industry as a whole. So we need to continue to work and find ways to highlight this industry to attract the very best and brightest for our collective futures. As I mentioned, we have a huge skills gap in our country and an alarming amount of shortages in aviation in particular. So we need to use the scope of this organization to further promote these great high-paying jobs and the satisfying careers that come with it.
Excellent. Well, Bill, this has been a great conversation. I appreciate you taking the time to join us. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, thanks for the interview. I appreciate the opportunity to be on. And no, I would encourage people if obviously if you're going to the competition, you'll see everything there. But if you haven't been, or if you're a company in the aviation industry, listen to this podcast, I would encourage you to make a donation to the council. It's a worthy endeavor. They're doing great work, and it helps the industry. So anything that we can do to help the council and the competition is going to help the industry as a whole.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Bill, for joining us for this episode. And I look forward to seeing you in Chicago later this year.
Yes, my backyard. Thanks, Walker. I appreciate it, and we'll see you shortly. It'll be here before we know it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. We'll return in February with our next installment of the series, but stay tuned in the meantime for more great episodes of the Aviation Pros podcast starting next week. And don't forget to visit AviationPros.com for even more quality content from around the entire aviation industry.